Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a calm and comfortable moment today. Take a slow breath and allow your mind to feel a little more relaxed. Have you ever spoken English correctly, but still felt like something was missing? Like your sentences were right, but they did not sound natural? You use the correct grammar. You choose the right words. You say complete sentences, but somehow, it feels different. Something feels a little stiff, a little unnatural, and sometimes you may even notice the other person reacting differently. Not wrong, but not fully connected. And in that moment, you may feel something confusing. Why does my English sound unnatural? Many learners reach this stage. They improve their accuracy. They build their vocabulary. They speak more confidently. But their English still does not feel natural. And this creates a new kind of gap. A gap between correct English and natural English. Because correct English is about rules, but natural English is about usage. Some people believe they need more advanced vocabulary. Some think they need more complex sentences. So they try to sound smarter. They use longer words. They build longer sentences. But this often makes the problem worse, because natural English is not about complexity. It is about familiarity. It is about rhythm. It is about how people actually speak. Another important idea is simplicity. Native speakers often use simple structures, short sentences, common words, but they connect them smoothly, and this creates a natural flow. Another key point is rhythm. Natural English has a certain movement. It is not too slow. It is not too structured. It flows, and this flow comes from repeated patterns. Another important idea is reduction. In real speech, people do not pronounce everything clearly. Words become softer, sounds change, and this creates a more natural feeling. Another key point is reaction. Natural conversations include small reactions. Yeah, right. I see. These small responses make communication feel real. Let me share a simple example. Two learners say the same idea. The first person says, "I had a very enjoyable experience during the weekend." This is correct, but it feels formal, a little distant. The second person says, "I had a really good weekend." This is simple, but it feels natural. It feels real. Another example. Two learners respond in a conversation. The first person says, "Yes, I understand your point completely." The second person says, "Yeah, I get it." Both are correct, but the second feels more natural. Why? Because it matches real usage. Another important idea is overcorrection. When you try too hard to be correct, you lose natural flow. You think too much. You slow down, and your speech becomes stiff. Another key point is listening influence. The more natural English you hear, the more natural your speaking becomes. Your brain copies patterns. It learns rhythm. It adapts to real usage. At this point, you may begin to see something clearly. Natural English is not about using difficult language. It is about using familiar language naturally. But there is still something important we need to understand. How can we develop this natural feeling? How can we sound more like real speakers without forcing it? And this is where the story begins to go deeper. From correct English to natural English. Now that we understand that natural English is about familiarity and flow, we can begin to explore how to build this ability step by step. The goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to sound real. The first step is to simplify your language. Many learners try to sound advanced. They use long words. They build complex sentences, but this creates distance. So choose simple words. Use short sentences. This feels more natural. The second step is to use common expressions. Native speakers repeat patterns. They use the same phrases often. I think so. That makes sense. I guess? These expressions are simple, but they are natural. The third step is to reduce your sentence structure. Do not say everything fully. Shorten your sentences. Remove unnecessary parts. This creates a more relaxed tone. The fourth step is to add small reactions. Natural conversations are not only about information. They include emotion. They include response. Oh, really? That's nice. No way. These small reactions make your speech alive. Let me share a simple example. Two learners are talking about a movie. The first person says, I found the movie to be quite interesting and enjoyable. This is correct, but it feels distant. The second person says, it was really good. I liked it. This feels natural. It feels closer to real speech. Another example. Two learners respond to a story. The first person says, that is a very surprising situation. The second person says, no way. That's crazy. Both express the same idea, but the second feels more natural. The fifth step is to match your tone to the situation. Natural English changes depending on context. Casual conversation uses casual language, so adjust your tone. Keep it relaxed. The sixth step is to focus on rhythm. Do not speak word by word. Let your sentences flow. Connect your words. This creates a smoother sound. The seventh step is to listen and imitate. Choose natural English. Listen carefully. Repeat what you hear. Copy the rhythm. Copy the tone. This builds natural speaking patterns. The eighth step is to accept imperfection. Natural speech is not perfect. It includes pauses. It includes repetition. It includes small mistakes. This is normal. Another important idea is confidence in simplicity. Simple English works. You do not need complex language. Clear communication is enough. Another key point is exposure. The more natural English you hear, the more your brain adapts. It learns patterns. It builds familiarity. Another important idea is consistency. Natural speaking develops slowly, through repetition, through use, through time. At this point, you may begin to notice something different. Your speech feels more relaxed. Your sentences sound smoother, and your English begins to feel more natural. But there is still one important part left. How do we use this natural style? In real conversations consistently? How do we sound natural, even when we feel pressure? And this is where the story moves forward. From learning patterns to becoming natural. So now we come to the final part of this story. How can you sound natural in real conversations without forcing it? Because learning patterns is one step, but using them naturally is another. Many learners improve their expressions. They use simpler words. They add reactions. They understand rhythm. But in real situations, they still feel a little unnatural. So the real goal is not to perform natural English. The real goal is to become comfortable with it. The first step is to stop trying to sound perfect. Perfection creates tension, and tension makes your speech stiff. So relax. Speak simply. Let your words come naturally. The second step is to focus on communication, not correctness. When you focus on correctness, you think too much. When you focus on communication, you speak more freely. This creates natural flow. The third step is to match your speaking to the moment. Natural English changes with the situation. Sometimes short, sometimes longer, sometimes casual. Follow the moment. This makes your speech feel real. The fourth step is to stay present in the conversation. Do not think about your mistakes. Do not think about your performance. Focus on the other person. Listen, react, respond. This creates natural interaction. Let me share a simple example. Two learners are talking about their day. The first person tries to speak correctly. I had a productive and satisfying day at work. They sound careful. They sound controlled. The second person speaks naturally. It was a good day. I was busy. I'm tired now. Simple, but real. And the conversation feels more comfortable. Another example. Two learners react to news. The first person says, "That is quite an unexpected development." The second person says, "No way." Really? Both are correct, but the second feels more natural because it matches real speech. The fifth step is to allow small imperfections. Natural speech includes pauses. It includes repetition. It includes small mistakes. This is normal. Do not stop. Continue speaking. The sixth step is to build real experience. The more you speak, the more natural you become. Short conversations matter. Small interactions matter. Each one builds your ability. The seventh step is to trust your patterns. You have learned natural expressions. Use them. Do not search for something better. This increases your fluency. The eighth step is to stay emotionally relaxed. When you feel calm, your speech flows. When you feel tense, it becomes stiff. So breathe, relax. Allow your words to come naturally. Another important idea is identity. See yourself as someone who speaks naturally, not someone who struggles. This changes your behavior. Another key point is consistency. Natural speaking grows through repeated use, not through one perfect moment. Another important idea is persistence. There will be moments when you feel unnatural again. This is normal. But if you continue, your natural flow returns faster each time. Over time, something begins to change. You no longer think about sounding natural. You just speak. Your reactions feel real. Your sentences feel relaxed. And your conversations feel comfortable. And in that moment, you realize something important. Natural English is not something you create. It is something you become. And this is the result of everything you have done. Not more knowledge, but better use of simple language. So if you remember one thing from this story, remember this. Do not try to sound natural. Speak simply. Stay present. And let natural English happen. Thank you for spending this time with the story. And as always, see you in the next story.